Welcome, everybody. We should be live. This is the Sam Preston Art Show. Let's check it out and see what's going on. Welcome to the stream. We are live on Twitch right now. We are live on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Kick. We're live on Kick. Welcome to the stream, Kick. Facebook. I've got to hit that go live button still. Rumble. We're live on Rumble. Welcome to the stream. Rumble and YouTube or Facebook's now live. I am live on all five platforms currently. We'll be welcome to the stream. Rumble. Somebody's got some volume on here. Facebook's now live. There we go. All right. Live on 5 platforms, soon to be adding more. However, I've maxed out my uploads speed capability, so I'd have to get a cloud server that I'd upload to that would then disperse everything out from there, which eventually I will do. Let's get this party started. Get this show on the road, as they say. We are drawing from Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands. Let's see here. I am on page 117 of 182, and I've literally drawn through every single page to make it this far. What is going to happen next is, I don't even know. Lot going on, a lot to do. It is, this is a very weird hand. No, that's good enough. Let's get this thing going. It is August 16th, 2026. We are in the middle of August, right in the midst of it. The next event I have coming up is this weekend. I will be at the Combat Base Camp in Redondo Beach, sharing some of my wrestling knowledge with the camp attendees. And it'll be the first grappling camp I'll have done in probably 2 or 3 years that I'll have coached at, as I have taken a big back seat to that and more or less retired from all the martial arts coaching and stuff, wrestling coaching and everything that I used to do. But I will be doing that one. I've committed to it, and so I will show up to it. And it may be one of the only ones I do. I'm if I have a convention or something scheduled, I won't do it. If I have an opportunity to promote my art, I won't do it. But in this situation, there was nothing scheduled. They asked me if I could be there, so I said I would, and so I am. What I've got going here are just some drawings. Bridgman. Famous art instructor. I believe he taught at the New York League of Artists, or I don't even remember his whole history. A lot of famous artists studied under him, illustrators of the earlier days. He was trained in Europe. Classic techniques. And he published a number of books. One of them was this Book of 100 Hands. Another one was called Human... I don't even remember, man. He has a bunch. Life drawing, drawing from life, drawing the figure, all kinds of stuff. But what else is happening, man? It's been a pretty difficult last few days. Just dealing with a lot of pressure and a lot of anxiety. a number of projects that I'm trying to wrap up have not been able to finish, and I'm behind on them. And these deadlines are my own self-imposed deadlines, but they're important in order to keep my business running smoothly and keep myself profitable and keep myself supported through my work. And unfortunately, I've just been too slow, and I haven't hit those deadlines, so I'm behind on another number of big projects that will really help me, help my family. And so I'm in the situation now where I've got to just kind of figure out how to hunker down and get this work done. And it might mean depriving myself of some sleep. It might mean taking some extreme measures into place. But I'm going to get things going. When it comes to that. What are the projects that I specifically need to get finished? Zombie Command is a collectible card game. I'm very close to being done with it. I just need to hunker down and see it through the finish line. And that's going to probably mean that I've got to stop working on some other projects or put some other things on the back burner so I can do it. I'm going to work on the Zombie Command today. I need to make an order for some more comics. But unfortunately, to do that, I need to email a number of printers and get quotes. There's a few that I've already found that everybody's using, but I want to check in and see if I can find anybody with an offset press or the web press that could get me my comics printed at a even better price. It's very hard to compete with the comics because Marvel, DC, Image, they are doing gigantic print runs of tens of thousands of books across the company, so they get a very good price on printing. But even me just doing it, I'm going to do 1,000. Even just doing 1,000 seems like a lot. It's not. And trying to keep that overhead, that print overhead down as low as I can. It's been a massive strategy in the past, and it's worked well for keeping my comic books profitable. But now it's, with inflation being where it is, I'm afraid it's going to cost me like $2 a comic. If I can get the price down to $1.50, that'd be much better. In the past, I actually had the price as low as 75 cents a comic book. That won't happen again. It's possible if I was doing massive runs of like 20,000 plus books or whatever, but I'm not. So that's not going to be the case. But I've got to get that going so I can have them for the fall season. I need that part of my inventory back in stock. I let my comic books go out of print, predominantly because the cost to keep them in print, put them back in print was high. But now I'm at a point where I want to get these bad boys in print and get things rolled out for the next show. I want to have a whole comic book package that I can offer people. They get all 3 books. They get the cartoons. They get the behind the scenes, director's cut comics, the zines, the sketchbooks, the whole kit and caboodle. But it's really hard. That's another strange looking hand that Bridgman did, but he's got some foreshortened elements on there. Let's get this one in. We can do it. So why am I doing this? Why am I copying these drawings from Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands? Look, if you don't put anything new inside your head, then you're going to have the same stuff in your head tomorrow that you did today, that you did yesterday. To get better, to improve, you need to constantly be putting new information in. And you want that information to be coming from the best artists and teachers that have ever lived throughout history. And I believe Bridgman's one of them. And when it comes to his instruction on drawing the figures. So that's what I'm working on. This is kind of a sketchy mess in here. But he's got a lot of overlaps and folds and things happening that should be kind of looked at. And understood. Oh, let's see what's left. We got this one more, and we'll be done with this page. Been on the stream for only 13 minutes. Let's see if I can just get this one in right here. Is there more to it than that? No, it just cuts off. All right, interesting. It's like a big close-up of his hand. Try that again. So when you have it, we only have this much area. So what we need to do is just kind of outline where that hand shape goes. I think something like that is going to have to go up higher. That'll be that knuckle. That'll be that knuckle. So that's just planning out the space that I have to utilize. That's pretty cool. So I think I've got enough information that I'm going to just start detailing this down. Be somewhere in the ballpark of where this drawing is. And this one, there's a lot of information on it. He's really defined the top plane of this finger. He's got this rendering here. We've got tendons coming down there. He's got an interesting dark shape in here for the knuckle. Tendons there. I'll render this here. Rendering there. I'll move this over a little bit. It's a little bit low, or is that correct? I can't tell. I think that might be a little low. Let's see. We're here. I'm gonna have a form swooping in there. A little low. That's a nice little wedge insertion that he did there. And then this one comes out, and this is a typical Bridgman pad of the finger shape here. When you draw through this book, you'll come across this shape over and over again, which is kind of nice because it kind of reinforces what you're trying to learn, you know. Because you've already drawn Bridgman fingers. We're in the finger section of the book. By the time you get to this section, you've already drawn Bridgman fingers numerous times. And so now he's just paying more attention to those fingers, showing you more what the forms are that he's thinking of here in his sketch. And so that'll do it for that page. That's good enough. Let's save that up and let's move on because there's a lot of work that needs to get done. We can close this. Who's this guy? Don't need that. I'll close that one. Let's pull this across here. You can kind of work a little bit here. And I'm going to be working in Clip Studio today on the next one. Let's see that I save it. I think I did, but I'm going to double save that just to make sure. We'll go over here. We can close this actually. We might as well. Don't need to leave it open. All right, we're going to go over here. Now we're working on the animated feature, adapting this for the cartoon. So we've got a lot of layers here that need to be considered. I don't really need this orientation thing. I know where I am. And let's just start from the foreground and work our way back, not become overwhelmed. And the first thing we're going to check for is anti-aliasing. And you can see when we zoom in, there's a lot of it. So we're going to just correct that first. And Clip Studio, I think, is different. I think you hit that for the anti-aliasing. And then, yeah, and that's the same thing. That's the equivalent of the Alpha Lock in Clip Studio Paint. So there's going to be things I don't know, but I got to force myself to use this software more so that I can cancel my Adobe. And I've been talking about canceling Adobe, and I still haven't done it. And I said it was going to be a hard cutoff in August, and now it's August, and I'm still not canceling Adobe. I'm not ready to cancel it yet. But this is a step to get me there. You know, if I can just cancel that by the end of the year, that'll be a victory. Okay, so now you can see we have some fragments on this from when this thing was cropped off. So we're gonna take care of that. And I don't know why that arm's not cropped, but it should be. And this piece here should be probably should be let me see here. Yeah, that piece should be part of this arm. So this is not what we want. Yeah, let's see here. If we go, let's see if this works. No. We have some stuff here. What is this? Copy and paste. What is this? That's what we actually want is undo that, and we'll use this cut and paste right here. That's actually easier than in Photoshop, probably better. Now remember that in Clip Studio it's M for marquee, and it's not L for lasso. One thing that I'm not fully used to. And we're going to merge these two selected layers. So we're going to merge selected layers. I don't know what the shortcut is for that. It might be one I need to build. Okay, so that's better. All right. Now going back to the body, let's just get this arm here put on its own layer as well. I'm going to marquee this. And we'll take that whole thing there. And then we know we can just do that, which is better. And you turn that off, it moved it away. So way better. All right, so you turn that off. I probably shouldn't have done that yet, but it is what it is. All right, let's fix these up. So first thing here, let's hit this with the anti-alias. We want to use the pen. What happened? I don't know what happened here. Okay. All right, something I did lock this on me. Nothing. No. Okay, looks like we're back. Now let me see if why is that cutting that off? I don't understand what's going on. Okay. And why did it do that just now? I don't understand what's happening. Is it erasing? Let me see what happens if I do this. Yeah, it's erasing it down. I don't understand this. Okay. There's something set where it erases instead of draws. I don't know what it is. Let me see here. So yeah, I erased all that. Not what I wanted. I have to look up this. How to alpha lock in Clip Studio Paint. Click the transparent lock icon, which looks like the lock next to it. Okay. So this. But now I can't color on it. If I do that, nothing. Was I on the wrong layer when I did that? Okay, did that work? Yeah. All right, so that's what it is. All right, so we just got to learn this software a little better. But I'll get it down. And then I will cancel Adobe and I'll save myself $70 a month because I use all the Adobe stuff. This one is going to replace Photoshop predominantly. However, I'm also going to be using Infinity to replace it. But it's whatever. All right, so same thing with this guy. We want to get rid of his anti-aliasing by just painting along the edge here. Yeah, I've got to keep talking to myself about how nice it'll be to save $70 a month because so that I stay motivated to actually go through the pain of not using Photoshop anymore. You're also going to be charged tax on your subscription in California starting next year. So prior to now, there was no tax on sale and purchase of software in the state of California. And now they're changing it. They've changed that law. California's going to take that money grab there and charge tax on software purchases. And if it's a subscription to the software, then you pay the tax on the subscription price every month. And I think the tax is like 8%, maybe a little more, somewhere around there, 7 to 10%. So your subscription price just went up from $70 now to, $73, $75, something like that. And that subscription creep, where the cost of your subscription has just kind of creeped up on you, doesn't seem like a big deal, but depending on the more and more things you are subscribed to, it will affect you. I mean, $3 a month increase doesn't sound like a big deal, but over the course of a year, that's over $30 that you don't have anymore, that you cannot spend on what you want to spend it on. That's $30 that will no longer support you. It will no longer support your art, your family, your future, and more. So I got to say this stuff out loud because I got to remind myself of the importance and urgency of just getting out of subscriptions, as many of them as I can. I need to get rid of, and I have more than I want to have, so I need to get rid of that. And getting out of Photoshop. As it's become too expensive, and there are plenty enough of competitors now that can offer you the same capability at a much lower price. In fact, what's it called? Is free. Affinity Pro is free. This software was a one-time pay. I think it's like about $200, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And one-time pay, and I'm set up with it. And it updates, you know, but you have to pay for the update. But you may not need to update it. Like when I had my first time, I got Photoshop like CS4 or something like that. CS3. I don't remember what they were on when I bought it, but it was somewhere around there. And it was pretty expensive, but it was one-time pay, owned for life. I still have copies that I own for life. They're a little buggy now. They crash a bit. They run on my old computers. And then you just paid for the updates. When, you know, they would update to the new version every year. And if you wanted it, you didn't have to pay the full $600. You just paid, you know, a lower fee for the update. And usually I wouldn't really update. I'd update maybe every 3 or 4 years, if that, because I didn't really feel like I needed it. And that's the way software was. And when it all moved online, this has got to be fixed. It's a weird foot. When everything moved online, they realized, oh, I can make more money with subscriptions. The subscription business model is one of the most successful business models in the world. One of the most successful business models that's ever been implemented is the subscription. I've been aware of this forever because I was in publishing, magazines, stuff like that. And publishers knew this. Like, hey, get the guy, publish something every month, every year, every quarter, and get the customer locked into a subscription. It's a powerful business model because people forget about this, mostly because you're banking on the fact that people forget about it, and then they pay for something they don't want, use, or need anymore. So, and now since everything has, you know, they've tried to implement everything. Every company now has tried to implement everything they sell into a subscription. You've got to constantly monitor and watch what you're subscribed to. And I know I cut a lot of stuff at the beginning of the year, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of stuff that has come up again that I need to go through and cut again, because I'm paying for far more things than what I need to be. Just gonna extend his foot a little so it looks a little more natural there. I keep forgetting, so that's one habit that I forget is in Clip Studio, there is brush. There's brushes and there's pens, and I tend to be using the pen more, but I'll hit brush out of the habit of using Photoshop, like I just did there. I hit that B shortcut, and then it pulls up a brush, and it's not what I wanted to do. So it's going to take me a while to train myself out of that so that I continue to just hit that pen button and not the brush button. Merge selected. There we go with that. It's like this kind of green color here. I don't know what it's from, but I'm gonna just kind of paint over it so it's not there. All right, so robot, there's still more to do on robot. Let's fix this part here. All right. Yeah, so that takes care of robot's body. Let's make sure we label this. That's another thing, being more disciplined about labeling everything. Pen. All right, so this is just probably not the most entertaining thing to watch because I'm literally just and fix the rigging, expand things where they need to be expanded and so forth so that we can have better animation happening. Probably not the best drawn hand that I have ever done right there. That's pretty bad. But some of this work is all the way back to like 2015, 2014. So I'm literally working over the top of 10-plus-year-old artwork and having to fight back my inclination to want to redraw stuff because I've improved, because we don't want to do that. You'll end up never making any progress forward if you keep reworking the old stuff too much. So this arm's got to get fixed. It's not going to work. Oh no, I think there's a tree there. Yeah, there's a tree there. So that arm's actually fine. I actually do need to take it off and attach it to the tree and then disattach it from his body, maybe. I don't really know what the best course of action is. It looks like I need to extend that foot. So I know their feet were cropped because we expanded this panel down for the animated version. All right, that one's done. Okay, and then we'll do the background later. So now let's go back to this guy. We don't need that anymore. We got two arms in the body. Okay, so this arm actually should go behind it. That one's in front. So let's extend this body out a little bit on this side. All right, now let's just test it. Right there, it kind of breaks apart. So we'll extend this just a little further. Go here a little more. All right, that's not bad. Let's save that. I'm actually gonna put let's fix this a little bit so it looks a little better. Get a rendering there. There we go. Okay, so this arm's on our right, so man, right arm. Because it's always, I work always orientation of the viewer, not orientation of the character. So this body. That's fine. Nothing more to do there. This arm, we're going to extend it a bit so that it can animate better. So go here like this. Take that up, and we'll take this back like that. Very simple to do. All right, so there we go. And now let's just test it. And so all we want to do is just kind of move it and see. Looks okay. And yeah, but it needs a. Notice how it looks. No, done. We have this dark shadow here. But it looks a little weird because there's no dark shadows in here, and there should be. So we'll come in through here and just put a dark shadow along there. That way it's more cohesive, follows the same logic. And then when we retest it, whoops. When we retest it, see it looks a little better. Now my pivot point's in a bad spot, should be more there. And see, that looks a little better when we test it. Now, probably should bring that out a little further so that we don't have the arm looking kind of unnatural right there. So let's just block that out more. Now we've got the shoulder blade and everything. Turn the body back on. Let's retest it again. And that looks pretty decent. I mean, it's good enough. So that character is ready. So this is the arm that is on our left. So man, L arm. And this one we're going to delete. It's wrong. And now let's put this here, and we'll call it bald guy. And then we'll put everything, this guy in. Oh, and there's still something more we got to do on bald guy. So his feet crop here, we got to finish those. That'll be part of his body. And that's because the panel crop there, the comic book panel, and when the scene was extended, the feet were not extended. So we're not going to do a huge to-do about it, but just some simple shapes like this will help. Will be enough. No one's going to be really looking down here, so that's why I don't want to turn this into an all-day rendering exercise. Are these the best feet? Absolutely not. These are pretty terrible, but I'm just going to go with it. Oops. Old habit. There. Let's get this up here so we can kind of. Not great, but it's good enough. All right. All right, that's going to work fine. So now that's extended. What is this? That's more extended feet. So let's merge these visible layers. Now we should do his head on its own layer. Because this guy, probably we want him to be able to nod and gesture somehow. So we'll take the head off. Cut and paste. And now what we want to do is extend his neck. So that when he nods, there's something behind the head area. And now there should be no problem. I always test everything just to make sure we've got, and really this should be pivoting here on the base of the skull or somewhere close. Works. Let's rename this the correct name. Man head. Okay, now let's just give this guy a blink. So that he can look a little bit more full of life. So this is just to kind of block out the old part of his head, whatever was there. Before I merge these in, let's just kind of test it. And there's a few things we need to change here. That's better. Whoops. All right, let's merge that stuff. Oh no. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, so a couple of things. One is just because this looks a little weird. It's supposed to be the kind of the top of his eye, but it's not working. This needs to be a little darker. Because that darkness there is not going to go away just because that happened. Oops. That's good enough. I don't love that, but I'm just going to keep it. That's probably what Witherby did. And I'll just leave it. Merge select the layers. Okay, so the bald guy is all ready to go. Turn him off. Now we're going to do the robot. Wherever he is. Nothing's turned on. So for the robot, a couple things we need to do. One is okay, that arm. I'm going to extend it a little up more. This arm is perfect. So let's extend this arm here. So we have a little more room to, the animator has a little bit more room to play when it comes time to making this thing move around. And basically my process is I'm on this one, I'm cleaning up all the rigging and cutting. Send it to my animator is making a pass at the animation, then I'll just send back notes. He'll make changes and corrections till it's dialed in, and then he's animated each scene as a clip, and then I'll go through, edit all the clips together the way I want them to be for the final cartoon. And it's been a pretty efficient process. And now that I have another rigger helping me that's good, that I've trained up, the next cartoon, which is being rigged right now, will go much, much smoother and much easier than this one. It's just extended that a little bit, and that's going to give us a little bit more. A little bit more to play with there. So there's the arm. Now the body, there's nothing to do on that arm, so those are done. So we're going to work the body. So first thing we're going to do is break off the head. And I love this because you can just do that. Okay, now I'm going to go down here and we're going to extend the neck so that we can articulate the head. Okay, that's done. Okay, now on the head, let's make this line black. Like I got a color hold there. I'm gonna remove that color hold. So let's alpha lock this. That way there's not that break there. Come on, man. I might as well save my work. So it's saved. Now, let's give this robot a blink. So let's rename the layer, robot head. New layer. And we'll give them a blink. That should work. We'll go, I need to learn the merge selected. Okay, good. So we've got a blink there on robot. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to separate the body from the legs so that we can kind of tilt him forward and back. We can tilt his box, the box of his body forward and back and make him emote more. So let's go command. Oh no, it's simpler. It's simpler in this one. All right, so we're going to extend up these legs. Simple as that. And then I haven't been able to get this to work. Oh, it worked. Okay, nice. All right, so we've got let's rename this because it's legs. And now we've got the body up here, and let's call it robot body. And for the body now, we can we can now kind of tilt it, maybe not there, maybe the pivot point's here. Kind of tilt him a little bit. I'm actually going to move him down there, but let's not do that yet. Let's move everything together. And we'll reposition him there. Whoops, I'm missing an arm. The arm here. I think that's better. And then this arm, I'm gonna just kind of maybe reposition it there and there. That's gonna be better there. All right, now the next thing that we'll do that's really easy is we're gonna make this so that it animates. So that's gonna go. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna erase out the one that's on there. So now let's actually go to a brush. Let me see here. I need to find an airbrush. Oh, I just hit B again, and there I'm in my airbrush. I forgot. Now let's move the I'd like it if it covered this a little faster, but not sure how to adjust it. I got brush density all the way up, but it's not covering this fast enough. I'm just going to use the pen tool because I can cover this faster. And then I'll go to the airbrush and see if I can blend it more. This is annoying. All right, that's good. That's blended up pretty good. We'll fix that overspray there. Okay, so we got that in place. Now we're gonna make here, and then all we're gonna do is, hold on, there's some overspray here I want to take care of. Okay, so this is too thick. Let's dial it down. All right, so there's one pulse reading. Pulse 1. And then we'll do a pulse reading 2. All right, so now when we alternate between the two, it'll look like there's something going on. Now, his head is up really high too. Let's move his head. So, robot head. His neck. Whoa, we gotta move the blink with the head. No. Yeah, we want to kind of place it more down there. All right, that's better. So robot's done. Save that up. Let's make a folder for him. And that'll be the robot folder. And all his features are ready to be passed off to the animator. Now we got rocking. And he's got this tree. So I think we're gonna like take the tree off the background. I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not really sure what to do. But let's see. This arm, let's not mess with the background yet. This arm is fine, but we need to extend his body a little further. So let's do that. We'll extend this up. get this pot dropped in. And get that dropped in. All right, so now we've got all that done. And should be plenty for that arm. We'll test it. And there's not a lot to do here. And that's fine. Okay, so now let's do a couple more things here. Let's take his let's take off his head, take off his bolts. So we're gonna just break some stuff up here. So first thing we want to take off are the bolts, and that's gonna be there. Oops, wrong place. There. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take his head off of him. There. And turn this arm off. We're going to take his body off of him. His upper body. Oh yeah, there's no shortcut. I can just hit that. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now let's just go through each one of those items and fix it. So this will be bolt 1. And what we need to do is extend these bad boys. Take them down like that. And then there's this, which I don't know what the what is the shortcut for that? U. Kind of neat because you can do that. Which I'm gonna do it again. But it needs to be bigger, and then we'll hit the U. I guess I have to do this. Okay, that's too much. So, that is. That's about right. Whoops. You draw it, you drag it, and then click it. I'm still learning this tool. Drag it, click it. Drag this to here. No, let's not do that. Drag this to here. Okay. Drag this to here. It's not really what I want. Looks like I'm gonna have to outline this. So I want a better system. Maybe I could just select it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's nice. I actually think I'm getting faster. I'll be able to get faster in Clip Studio than I am in Photoshop if I keep working with it. And that's kind of the way you phase something out. The painless way to phase something out is you force yourself to work on the other software. And then as you get better and faster, you'll find yourself working in the old software less and less until eventually you're not opening it at all anymore. And then at that point, you can just cancel it and you're not going to feel it. You're not going to notice it because you've phased it out. So that's kind of the strategy that I've decided to go with for phasing out Photoshop rather than having a hard cutoff. Okay, so that's the first bolt. We got to do 2 of those bolts. That seemed like it took way longer than it should have. We'll call this bolt 1. All right, now I'm going to do bolt 2. Okay, bolt 2. What are we going to do about this one? Let's make a layer here. And let's just like I'm gonna turn off bolt 1 completely. Not bad, I'd say. No. Really don't like that. I actually feel like it took me longer to draw those bolts using that tool than if I just did it without the tool. Because, like, this is all lame looking. We got two bolts on them. Bolt one, bolt two. So getting back up here. Head, we've got to do the blink. So let's just do that. We'll work our way down the character. Let's label this correctly. That's probably fine. That's the only thing. It's a little distracting. Was that? So now it's great. So the blink's done. The head's done. Okay, so now for the body, there's a few things more that we need to extend. One is the neck. Let's give this the right name. And we're going to extend this arm here as well. And the reason why is because then we can have some lean, with the upper body, we can have them lean forward, lean backward, stuff like that. It's probably plenty enough. Let's color this in. And we'll just color this all down there. There. Put a little bit highlight right there. It's fine. Get that done. Hey, oh no, it's G. All right, that's pretty good there. I don't know why that thing's on. Okay, that's good enough for that. So now I want this geometry thing off. I don't need it. Uh, there we go. Delete ruler. Delete ruler. That's all I have to do is delete the ruler. Okay, so that's done. Body. Now these are the legs. So the legs, turn all this off for a minute. We got to extend them up a little bit. What we're going to do is I'll use the marquee tool to bring that up there, and then we'll hit that. And then here, now, if I go here, we can have them lean forward and back, and it's going to look fine. So let's label this. So that takes care of Rocking. He's done. Put him in his own layer. I think if I select all of them and then hit that button, just puts it all in there for me. Does it? No, it did not. So let's put it in there. There we go. All right, so now the three characters are done. Let's rename this because this is scene 3, not panel 3 anymore. Okay. Now the background. So for the background, oh, I see. The background is in scene 3. Let's turn these guys off. Oh, you know what else I forgot to do is I need to extend Rocking's foot on this side. So let's take care of that right now. because it just like abruptly cuts off. It's kind of weird. Even if I just do something like that to give it more of a shape. Whoops. Hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Looks better. Okay, so now save that. Close this. Fix this background, and then this one's done. So for the background, a couple things here. One, let's crop this. Oops. Marquee, but we need the so not lasso. I want a square. Um. Oh, they're right here. Okay, so here we go. So we got subtool. We'll go with this rectangle, and let's get this off. Don't need it. If I extended it out a little bit, it might be better, but not going to be that hard to do. The shadow's weird. Let's move the tree first, because that's what we need to do. So okay. All right, let's just clean up this. And we'll just get the tree fixed first. And then we'll just do the background where we just expand it. We'll expand it and correct it. And then this scene is ready to send over to the animator. And we'll make good progress today. Okay, that's good. Let's Okay, that's pretty decent. Let's see here. All kinds of shit here. I can't tell what's what, man. I'm gonna give this tree. I don't know what to do. I know what to do. Let's just change the color of this. Too late. Okay, here we go. That's not what we wanted. Okay, so now I can see what's happening. We want to fix all these fragments, anti-aliasing, and other issues. So, oops, not that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And I'll take that. Let's unlock that. And now, oh, okay, I see. There's a problem with that, though. I'm gonna have to remove that arm of Rockings and put it with the tree. Oh, because if we put the tree in front of Rocking, he's like that now. Not what we wanted. Uh, but we can put that arm behind Rocking. It goes behind the tree. Then when Rocking leans forward, the tree can lean forward. When he leans back, the tree leans back. And he can gesture that way instead of just raising an arm up and down. So, that is what we're going to do. Okay, Rocking. Let's pull off your head. What's that part of? Hmm. Now this should stay locked. Should stay locked with the movement of his body. But just want to make sure. I'm going to have to do the rest of the background tomorrow because I've got some other stuff I got to take care of here. So, running out of time, unfortunately. Been going for only an hour 39. Would have liked to have made this a longer stream. But let's see what we can do here. So we've got that. Turn this one off. And now we're going to extend and fix the background. Fix the shadows. Fix all this nonsensical stuff. Let's kill rocking there. Kill the tree in the arm. And let's start fixing this background. This is quite the mess here. That's the area of the tree. Like some weird lines and stuff here. Leave that, it's fine. Get this the right size. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's finish off this part. All right, so that's filled in. Let's fill in this, and then we'll do the window, and then I want to get this edge here done. And then we'll have expanded this background well enough. I gotta move on though, because there's a lot I gotta do today. I think I'm gonna have to finalize this tomorrow. Get this some more. Okay. Kind of smooth out this stuff here. It's like doesn't need any more texture than it has. It's good enough. All right, all that's left is the window. I'll start with the black. Gonna be pretty simple. There's like some wonk ass stuff in there I want to paint over. This whole line's got to get taken out. Okay, let's do a layer here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. We can just do the whole thing. All right, what a mess. Let's fix it up a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect because there are characters and stuff that are in front of it, but one of the easiest ways to just bring some cohesive back to it quickly is just dropping new black lines on top. All right, I'm going to save that. So I just want to extend that still. And it's done. I'm just going to do it so that it's done. And then I'm going to have to cut the stream because I don't have any more time. Let's see. We turn on all this stuff. It looks pretty good here. No. Now, finish it off. We just go. I'm going to finish it off because I just want this closure that this is all done. This this spot's where it looks kind of like weird and muddy. Let's fix that up and just paint some highlights over the top of it. Alright, this should be able to finish this thing off here now. Yeah, what's left? Fish. Whoops. That works well enough. Now we're going to take the marquee rectangle and I'm just going to square this up. Same thing with down here. Ah, right, and we're done, man. We got the background extended. This is a little wonky, so let's fix this here. I'll be going in that perspective. Okay. Done. Got blanks on all the characters, bold pulsations, everything there. So tomorrow, and this one is no longer in use. And so then the last one we have is panel 5. Which is going to be scene 5. And that'll be tomorrow's work. And then we'll have another page ready to go. And this will be easy because all I got to do is just clean up the characters, make some blanks, make some things happen, extend this background out, fix the chair, move these guys to the middle, complete the whole robot side of it. All right, that's going to do it for today. What was that? I'll be back tomorrow with another stream. I will see you then. Thanks for joining me if you did.